Let's pray together. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadisevitam. Everybody. Kaveh Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam
Namami Vighuneshwara Parapankajam.
A major part of our discourse and our katha and our puja is the worship of Devi. Parikshit Sunil and others have been worshipping that triangular form with the 64 flags. Worshipping in the Havan, Pandit Varun has been chanting the mantras for each one of them. Simple language, Mother. May you please allow us safe passage in our prayer. Those that are driving on the roadways, bless them to reach here safely, reach back home safely. Bless our prayer to be successful. Bless our prayer to be peaceful. Mother, with your permission, impossible could become possible. And in this way, we continue along that line at a very individual level. Let's pray to Ma and ask her for her choices blessing. In the past 2 sessions, we've been talking about the quality of your prayer. Ma, I need your help. The devotee praise, those that are here in the mandir, those that are looking online, wherever you may be. Ma, I have different troubles, different tests in my life. May you please bless me, Mother, and allow me to overcome. Sarva Mangala Mangalye
Shive Sarvatra Sadhike
Sharanye
Trayambike Gauri
Narayani
Namostude
Guru Brahma
Guru Vishnu
Guru Devo
Maheshwara
Guru Sakshat Param
Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Guruve Namaha.
Om Namah Shivaya. Let's go, everybody, together. Om Namah Shivaya. One last time. Om Namah Shivaya. We chant the 12-syllable mantra. Again in Puran, he says, Janam after Janam, a person is going to accumulate sin. Mistakes are going to be made. And these sin cause a person to die, born, and they get trapped. Constantly forging relationship, and then you have to lose these people. You have to lose them, grieve for them, cry for them. It is a heart-wrenching, very, very sad cycle. But this mantra is chanted to rid us of that cycle. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One more time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. Sitaram, and welcome to our third session. This is our first day of our Bhagwat Yagna. For those of you viewing on, welcome to the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram. As we're at it again, doing Yagna, celebrating God and teaching. Before we get into tonight's discourse, so at this time, before we go into our discourse, we have our first dance tonight. I cannot pronounce this song. It's a Ganesh Baba song, Sada Dil V2, done by Ida Ramsahai. She's a Form 3 student of Rio Claro West, a member of Simone's Dance Academy. Everybody, let's give her a round of applause. Sit down, baby. her. Again, she's a Form 3 student, and I don't know how to just find the time with the school work and the practice. Earlier today, for our lunchtime session, we went through those discourse, those chapters that explain the history of this Bhagwat, this text. Why do people have this thing called Bhagwat Yagna? Is it the same? Many people think Yagna is Yagna, and they miss the purpose, they miss the point. How does going to Bhagwat, listening to Bhagwat, benefit myself? And we listen to the predicament the author, Ved Vyas, finds himself, where he realizes that as time is passing, the degradation of the human being in terms of how they think, their attention span, their logic, the way they approach prayer, and you've seen it. We live in a society where one way parents, grandparents used to pray, children don't have that thinking, liking, interest in many different ways. We spoke a lot about the thoughts that people have. The thoughts, because he mentioned that. And it sounds very strange to say that, the way people think. But the choices that people make and how they interpret things seems to be in a little kind of up in the air. So I use myself as an example just to be clear. Now everybody know I have a nice big belly. Suppose I woke up in the morning, think was it, and I said to myself, I think I am very slim. I identify as a slim person. And now you live in a world, I am not ill speaking to anybody, but it is reality. Parents, I am looking at the parents. Imagine my child one day was a boy, and he tells you the next day, I want to be a girl, or vice versa, or gender issues, sexual issues. Now this is not being caused only because of hormonal imbalance, but it is also being caused because of how people think or perceive themselves. It wasn't like that all the time, but now something seems to be changing. Something is happening. What is happening, I don't know, Pandit. When you look at the sexuality and the gender issues that people have today, now we have to talk about it because it is happening in many homes and people don't want to talk about it. You know how Indian, Hindu people are. It's a taboo subject, but it is being hidden. Many people are hiding the truths about themselves or their family, and it is ending up in trouble when you force people to get married to somebody they don't want to get married to, etc. But it is so funny that these things were being predicted many years ago in our text. Ved Vyas says, I know in time to come, parents will have to deal with problems like this. They will see trouble like this. How will they get it? Because in that time, the Ved was one book. And it was very poetic and it was hidden in language. If you think Sanskrit is hard, this is the old version of Sanskrit. So he says, I realize that only some people will know the language, only some people understand the figurative nature of the book, and they would not attach themselves to the teaching. It is not at the level of, the normal man. So Ved Vyas at that time breaks the Ved into 4 books as we know it now. Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, Atharva Ved. And he goes one step further, creates things like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, where the same science that is in the Ved is disseminated now like a movie. When you look at Ramayana, when you look at Mahabharata, the text, it is just like what we see on the television. The good boys grab their weapons and they charge at the bad boys, and the bad boys are overcome. We put some names to them. Let's say the good guys are Arjun, etc. Ravan is an example of bad. And children till today attach, they understand that. I want to be good. I want to practice good. and they absorb it because the understanding of people is changing. So the teaching method of this guru had to change. And this is why we celebrate Guru Purnima. It's really, truthfully, his birthday, this Ved Vyas. So he creates Bhagwat, the discourse we spoke about later in the session. Narad Muni says, in my life, I was able to attain a great position. I am the person who is always rubbing Lord Vishnu foot. I'm always Narayan, Narayan in all the texts, in all the shows that you watch. He's there, permanent. But he says, I am the son of Brahma. But I have brothers and they didn't get that. They don't have that Vardhan or that great positioning. That didn't come just like that. It came truthfully because of what I learned in my previous birth. I was an orphan, and because of circumstance, I could have been very negative. I could have been very depressed and say, well, God make it bad and I'm a bad person and I am not good. And he, rather than do that, he learns about the name of God, and then he wants to know, well, why they call him this and how we get that. For example, let's say Damodar. Damodar is a common name in our text because his mother tied him up to a pestle and tried to, tie him wrong the waist. And no matter how much she tried to tie him, the string is always getting shorter and shorter. He's testing her. Then you hear about how she had to look into his mouth, and instead of seeing mud as the mischievous child, she's seen worlds and moons and planets, and she's in awe. So when he started to hear one by one all the different discourses of Lord Krishna, he became more and more interested within himself. And he says, what that did for me, that gave me this position, that if, O Ved, if you write a book showing the value of the name and glory of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, then the person who is listening, reading, reciting, thinking, telling somebody else, discussing it, they will get the blessing. It will come down to a language that the littlest child could understand, and not regulated to only one caste or one group of people. It would not be done only for one gender of people. Truthfully, after Ved Vyas did this, and the Ved starts to break, this is where dance came from. Just as that child did the dance here, dance is open to male, female, anybody can become a dancer. But dance originated in prayer. The body movement, when they twist their hand, for example, like this, where we just pervert and say, how does it call it, squiddy bulb? The person is invoking Lakshmi, the lotus flower, in this movement. When you see them do like this, they're invoking Ram. As I was saying earlier, the first slap on the foot on the ground, Ta, I bow to Shiva. Te, I bow to Durga. And it was a different way of doing whilst the Pandit sits with the poetry in the book and he recites the poem, the meaning, the teaching of what God has said. This person now with their body is poetry in motion, and they enact the Leela of God. And people, they would go till today, they would go to see this opera, this stage performance of what Sri Ram did to get back Sita Mata, etc. Ved Vyas listened to the words of Narad Muni, took the inspiration, and he then goes and he writes this Puran. Many people think that this Puran had to begin, it began with the person called Parikshit. He gets bite with a snake, and his godfather, the son of Ved Vyas, uses this text to save his soul. Tonight we're going to hear a little more about that, the usage of Bhagavat. Before we do so, let's do our Sumiran. Put your hands together, close your eyes, and find your God in your own language. Talk to him. Dear Lord, by your grace, the month of Shravan, Shiv Baba month. If you are a devotee of Lord Shiva, you understand his motive. He's very happy with us tonight because he wants to hear about Lord Vishnu. One day I was reading and somebody questioned the fact, if Lord Shiva is so powerful, how come he lets Sati Mata, his wife, burn or die? And the answer for that is because Sati did not understand the relationship between Sri Ram and Shiv Baba. Shiv Baba says, if you do not have faith in Sri Ram, I will walk away from you. I will abandon you. And it so happened that one Sri Ram is walking in the forest, crying, looking for Sita. Sati says, that little man with all that emotion, that is Mahavishnu. Are you sure? I can't believe that guy is Lord Vishnu. And in that moment, Lord Shiva remembered his promise. And he pulls back from Sati. He says, if you want to test him, test him. And when she did go and test him, she really did lose the bet. Lord Sri Ram did identify her as Sati Mata. And from that little time in between, Lord Shiva would teach Sati, but he was not like a husband. Lord Shiva always wants to hear about Lord Vishnu and listen to his discourse. And tonight, as we practice Shravanam is the act of listening to prayer. I'm not doing the puja. I'm not offering the havan. But I'm listening to godly and goodly things. So I am practicing the vrat of Shravan. And Prabhu, after 4 years, the month of Adhik Maas, Purushottam Maas is coming. And you are going to allow me to listen to the discourses of Purushottam, Lord Vishnu. May you please purify my record, purify my history. It says it is such a sin to close the mandir during this month of Purushottam Maas that the person who does a little good, a little fast, a little jap, it yields 100 times fold. One of the things that people do during Purushottam Maas, they take whole wheat flour and they mix it in the Mahan Bhog that is going to be offered. Different things are shared. And we'll discuss more of that as we progress. Tonight, dear Lord, as we get the opportunity to listen and learn and to grow, may you with your blessings imbibe the energy within my body, within my aura, and allow me to shine by your grace. Please hear my prayer. Riddhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadhana Varana Varana Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko Ganapati Kripa Nidhan Jnana Kani Ananda Bhavanam Dehu Mohi Vardhan Varno Vasha Bhagavatam Jai Shiva Ananda Khanda Bhutanata Bhavaya Harana Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan Gauravarana Mangala Karana He Braja Chandra Mukunda Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana Kathahu Bhavaya Panda Sharana Sharana Le Anakara Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Ja Mahima Janakadana Kelal Ko Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Tonight, as you are sitting here, ask yourself what you know about Bhagwat. Remember, when one day we all have to go to God, it doesn't matter what another person knows. It's what I know. It's the knowledge I have, the devotion I harbor. When you are in trouble, some people might have the benefit of calling on God. He's always there. He has many names in Hinduism. And maybe some people might be able to, in the moment there's an accident, you see the car coming, Jai Vishnu. Some people might have that. Pandit Sunil might be able to muster that prayer. He's good. But the rest of we are too short. So we take the time that God gave us and you try your best to give back some of that time. If God gave you, imagine you have 60 grain of any bean in your hand. God gave you 60. It's a finite number. What you do with it is one day you're going to have to answer that. He says in Kali Yuga, people take the time they are given and they tend to spend it in a lot of crazy, without benefit, without any type of virtue, type of activity. You find yourself attracted. Nobody is telling you this is wrong, but do it. You know it's wrong, but that is only what I want to do. It is as if there's no more balance. The equilibrium in real life is gone. People get carried away, as they say. Whether the vice is alcohol, prostitution, gambling, you name it, it is very rampant right now. It's a fight in homes. It's a fight for what? How you choose, beside your resources, how you choose to spend your time. Look at it, comes back to the point that life is about choices and what you choose to do with your time. You could be home with your family, or you could be outside with friends doing all type of, nefarious deeds. This Bhagwat deals with using the names and the personalities, persona in our text, to teach us certain things. This evening we begin from Skand 1, chapter 12, where, remember in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun, on the cover of the book, he has Lord Krishna as his charioteer driving his car. We know that. Time has passed. Arjun had a son named Abhimanyu. For those people that know their Mahabharata, Abhimanyu was the one who, when he was in the belly, Arjun was talking and teaching him how to fight battle. For example, there is something called the Veer Chakra, and in Mahabharata it teaches the child the art of war to a point, because the next day the baby born. So he's telling him how to use different tactics on the battlefield. And Abhimanyu born the day after. He didn't get the last part of the Veer Chakra, so he learns how to go in, but he cannot come out of this warring mechanism. Abhimanyu is born and he does have gifts. He's intelligent. Till today, we have prayers where daddy is doing different sanskar, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months for the baby in the belly. Hindus don't believe, Pandit, you make your children, but you make their mind. Hindu people are doing sanskar at 3, 6, and 8 to pray for the development of the synapse, the personality, the brain, and you wish away via your prayer things that cause brain damage, physical damage. You want 10 fingers, 10 toes, pray for it, you'll get it. When the person now, as Abhimanyu grows to a young age, he has wife, she's pregnant, but the Mahabharata war reach. Arjun is engaged in the fight on the other side of the field, and they want to tackle this group of soldiers. Yudhishthira, his uncle, comes and says, Abhimanyu, you know some of that Veer Chakra science, and today we are going to employ it in this battle here. Child says, but uncle, I don't know all of it. I know how to get in, but if I get in, I will not know how to get out. I will not know how to protect myself. I will die. So Yudhishthira says, don't worry. I will take care of you. We will go together. But that part, I don't know how to do it. But we will take care of you. In that discourse, the young boy is roughly 17, runs in, charges, jumps into the Vir Chakra, and all in the wheel. What is the Vir Chakra? The chakra is all the different soldiers are spinning in a circle, and a select few are in the middle, but nobody else could jump. It is a way of keeping all the support off. When he did go into the Vir Chakra, his hands are up, he's calling for help, he needs backup, but nobody else could jump in. And the hero, Abhimanyu's son, Abhimanyu dies. And what confused the onlookers, isn't your best friend Lord Krishna? Isn't he driving your vehicle? How come you lost a child? How come it is possible to be so close to God and still go through hardship and heartache? And when it happened, Arjun says, it is my karma. It's hard to say that. As a pundit, it's very hard when we have to deal with funeral for children, young children. How are you going to tell this parent in that moment? Karma. Abhimanyu's unborn child is in the womb. And the enemies of Abhimanyu are not satisfied with that blood. Abhimanyu is dead. But now they want to kill his unborn child too. To tell you how nasty some people are. There's no limit to attack. And when you live in a world where that level of attack is possible, then it means that you have to do more to protect yourself. Agreed? People used to use knives to rob you 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. They don't use those simple methods anymore. Listen to what happened for this child to remain alive. Let's join as we enter into the slope of this chapter. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam,
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam,
Tasya Janma Buddhi Karmani Mahabhagani Danye Tatapar Ye Parit Prakshit Yatam Prashchit Ghadam Ye Mahabhaga Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jai Bhole
Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam,
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam,
Tat Sarva Guna Devaryatam Saguna Kula Grahuye Deva Gajayatam Sarvaye Dhara Bandharaye Bhava Pundaritam Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam,
Jai Bhole
Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam,
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam,
Jaya Samba Ramapati Mahadeva ki jai. Within the mother's womb, this child is growing, and the enemies are sending shafts, arrows, weapons to kill this child. The mother is a praying person, and she calls upon Lord Krishna. She begs for the life of her child. She cannot even grieve the husband. She has to think about the baby. And the same person that takes the father's life is now coming for the baby. And she says, do not allow this to happen. This is the next generation of this family. If we lose him, if his life is snuffed out, the entire generation, this entire line will be for nothing. They will be lost. The earth deserves to have the genetics, this type of blood to flow to maintain righteousness and upkeep goodness in this world. Do not rob Mother Earth of this. And when the arrow brought with it a lot of fire, a lot of damaging heat, within the belly, Lord Vishnu takes form in front of this baby, and lifting his two hands blocks the baby from the attack, shielding the child from the attack of this person. When this happened, the child was saved and was allowed to be born. This individual is called Vishnu Ratha, because of it also known as Raja Parikshit. This is the grandson of Arjuna. This person is called Vishnu Ratha because he is saved by Mahavishnu. And when he was born, unknown to everybody, within his prayer, within his mind, he continuously thinks about because he remembers what he saw in the womb. Is that the person I saw in the belly? Is that the person I saw in the womb? Is that him? And he looks and he searches, always interested to find this shadowy figure that was there within the belly. When the father is not there, the Nana of this child is there to oversee the post-birth rites, the checking of the name, the different rituals that are done. And he wants to know, the grandfather wants to know, there is no father to guide this child. Could you describe to us how this person will develop? And they talk about his prowess, his luck, that he will become a great ruler. He will have great barakat, to have, riches. Nobody will question his throne. He will be so great that when that time comes for Kali Yuga, that age of darkness, unrighteousness, badness, he will be so powerful and respected, regarded, that Kali Yuga will have to back away. He is going to be the one to save people from the bitter medicine that will become Kali Yuga. In verse 26 of chapter 12, it says that one day this newborn will be bitten by a snake named Takshak. And the shrap that will cause him to be bitten by the snake will be the cause of his death, will be the cause of his leaving this world. And he will go, because of his worship to Lord Vishnu's feet. All morning we've been talking about the foot of Lord Vishnu. And I guess the mother is so happy that one day everybody have to die. One day we all have to go. One day he will go. That's all right. For now, I'm hearing good things. Parikshit starts to grow, but he continuously thinks, is this the person? Is this the person I saw within my mother's womb? And because of it, he maintains a strong devotion to Mahavishnu. And he grows with certain tenets: humility, charity, seva. He's always close to doing these goodly and godly things. And he does not want to deviate, to cause trouble in his life. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Let's jump to chapter 16, where we come to him in his adult years. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana, Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
अजहे हर शेष्वदये स्थिरः गजये गाय हम भोरिये दक्षिणा शरद्वैयारहं कृतये देवता शात्रये काच्यहं हेये कृपा जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
They got him married to Iravati. He has 4 sons. The dynasty Janvijay, the person who, you know that name from when you listen to Devi Bhagwat. Janvijay, Hanvijay, and I can't remember the next one. 4 of them, but Janvijay is the 3rd one. Very high-tempered son. His family is growing. The city, the people are very calm. They love him. And he does his prayer. He prays to Krishna for Kripa. Saunak Rishi says, it's so wonderful to hear all of this, but how is it he was able to subdue Kali Yuga? I understand he's happy and all that is wonderful. Could you tell us when the trouble comes and how he was able to meet with this trouble? Tat kale yetam mahabhagayati Krishna katha shriyam ataye vasaham parabhodhaya he mandare ayaham samaye nadaham drishtaye ayaham jai radha ramana hari bol jai jai radha ramana hari bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. How is it possible? You're saying that Kali Yuga has so much bad features. What is the yuga in the circle of time, sansar? It is separated into 4 quarters. Each one is a yuga, and it spans in human years. The Hindu belief is roughly 500 to 600,000 years long. After the age of Satyuga, come Treta, come Dwapar, and then Kali Yuga. Krishna is leaving when Dwapar is finishing, and when he leaves, when he lifts off from the earth, Kali Yuga began. In this age of Kali Yuga, man's lifespan cut short, his attention span cut short, his liking or his interest for goodly things, that starts to dwindle, to disappear. People, as I said before, people in this age, it would be as if they don't want God. Gita says it, and today we could agree that you're seeing it. Whether you look at the public system, you look at people's homes, big, macro, or micro scale, people are not making time in their time management. School, you had to say your prayers before you ate at a minimum. That's gone. The religious studies that teenagers used to depend on to hold them with a little morality, that's gone. In the family's home, I will make time for soccer practice, Baba. I'll make time for swimming practice, Baba. But to go to the prayers, to entertain puja, to go when they're giving out some form of charity, Pandit, the children have homework, Baba. So when you grow your children, what's the end point? Everything you want children to learn and to emulate, show them. Simple. I want you to learn how to cook fry aloo. I'll teach you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. And then you'll do it. I want you to learn how to drive gear shift. I have to teach you how to do it. You don't born with that information. You'll learn it and you'll follow it. You copy that. So the examples we learn by watching. Miss, write it on the board. I could emulate and I'll follow it and I'll do it. God bless you. So you learn it. But suppose my father and my mother do not have the importance. They don't see it. To go to prayers, to say prayers. I went to do prayers the other day. And after the prayer, I told the young lady, okay, now you have your mother-in-law, you're married now. Now married. Arti your mother-in-law. Why am Arti in she for? Why Arti in she for? And you're talking to me direct in this tone. You have to understand the tone. I didn't see the tone coming, so you know me. Like, what? She said, my mother and father never tell me to Arti them. And them make me. Why am I arting she for? She don't talk to me. If you don't teach your children to respect, let me just say inside the marriage, spouse. About how we grew up, mommy used to tell me, bow by your father foot. Come on, time to sleep. The sleeping routine was, did you say a prayer? Yeah, ma. Bow by your father foot. Kiss your father. No matter how big you get, kiss your father. Love your parents. What people do now, don't teach them to love all, you know. But when you reach 60, 65, 70 and you want the love, you never teach them to love you. All of a sudden, they're going to love you. Or at least this is how it is working in theory. And they're going to make time for you then. You never make time for your family. You never teach them to do that. How much people, be honest with yourself, how much fathers they say, okay, I'm going to teach my children about offering a dar, offering tarpan, to hold your hand to do it. But you see when they get big and they're doing it differently, oh God, all the young people today, all the this, that and the other. But when you see children going haywire, look at the parents first. I would be the first to admit that there are few that try their best and still maybe through friends or whatever influence, children could still hit you a surprise. I'm not saying no to that. But if you want your child to learn anything, you put the emphasis there and they emulate it. If you make homework a plus in your life, the children usually tend to do good in school. And why you're doing good in school is to get that job. And when you get the job, what's the logic? Get the money. But Dad, you never teach me what to do with that money, boy. You didn't teach me to have a balance in life. You didn't teach me about saving. You didn't teach me about charity. All you teach me to do is to make money. So when I grow up to be a very haughty person, covetous, I don't want my sister to get that. Doing a funeral recently, I asked the boy, I said, son, your mother passed away. You're going to cut your hair. Tomorrow's the funeral. You have to cut your hair today. Why are you going to do that for? I said, what do you mean? Is your mother? Is that your mother? I'm not sure. Is it your mother? Yes, that is my mother. Mother. And she take up everything and give she daughter it and she son-in-law, let them do the praise. If I don't get something, can't get nothing from me, brother. If you teach your children that, they will emulate that. Not everything in this life is to get. Sometimes it's good to give too. But if that is not a priority in your house, poor Pundit go bray like a parrot. But it wouldn't make a difference. Tell us, Guruji, tell us how this one king, all this bad time, Kali Yuga, all this bad thinking, shortened lifespan, the disease. Think about what I said. We was talking about autism and things in the earlier session. It have people here, your father lived to 90, all your family never had cancer. But now, we lucky if we live to see 50. Pension, there are people who will tell you, I know I will not live to see 65. The entire, look at the circle of people, check house to house. It is as if people are becoming sterile. The same people that used to have 20, 30 children, struggling to have one. And if you have one, chances are children nowadays are born with some condition, some immune deficiency, some form of cancer, lupus, alarming rate of autism, or something along that line, learning disability. It is so funny. So when you hear that in your text, that all these things were recorded long before, and you're telling me that this one politician, this one king was so powerful to hold back that, tell me about that. Tell me how he was able to do it. Let's hear what he says in reply to that question. Raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo, he chakra sudarshan wali, raksha karo. Bharatam chora khun ketu purushate raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo, raksha karo. Somebody says Raksha Karo, it means save me, save me. Lord Vishnu, save me. In the later part of Bhagwat, Krishna knows that the bad time, Kali Yuga is coming. His time upon the earth is drawing to an end. And And Balaram tells him, it is time for us to go. It is time for us to go, brother. In our previous avatar, when I was Lakshman and you were Ram, I had to follow you then. When big brother talks, small brother has to listen, and Lakshman tells him, I am not going through this again. And the next time when we come, I'll come as the big brother and you will have to follow me. Balaram says, now it is time for us to go. Your work here is done. The city of Dwarka is gone into the ocean. Leave here. The earth cannot take your weight. Why are you tarrying? Why are you taking so long? What your work, your purpose for being here is accomplished. Come on. And Balaram goes on the bank of the sea in the western side of India. And he goes back to Vaikuntha. Krishna has to go. But Krishna knows when he leaves, when his foot literally lifts off the earth, Kali Yuga will come. When the word is sent from Arjun to Yudhishthira that Krishna had left, Krishna is gone, he's no longer here. Yudhishthira starts to scream, Yudhishthira starts to bawl. Who will guide me now? Who will save us now? I am a stupid king. I make damning decisions every day. I sold my wife, I sold my brothers, I lost all due to gambling, I lost everything I had. And if it wasn't for him, I would not have gotten it back. I am not going to deal with this Kali Yuga well. And he takes off the crown. And in that moment, he makes the decision that they are all heading to Vaikuntha. They're going to give up. They're going to walk away on Tiran and burn away all their karma. And he says, the only person here who is capable of holding this throne is my grandson, Arjun's grandson, same Parikshit. They install him on the throne quickly. And here he gets the crown. Now his sons are princes. But whilst doing his work, his nitya karma, he comes across a very funny sight. A 1-foot cow. A 1-foot cow. Let's hear what happens. Dharma padukati charana vachana pal gam prachit snate radha danyate raksha karo raksha karo raksha karo raksha karo रक्षा करो हे चक्र सुदर्शन वाली रक्षा करो हे चक्र सुदर्शन वाली. He sees a very funny sight, a bull, male, and the female, the cow. But the cow doesn't have 4 feet. The cow has 1 foot. And on the back of the person, a low birth person, no set of knowledge, but he's dressed like a pandit. Fake persona now. And he's beating these 2 animals. Parikshit says to the male, to the bison, who are you and why are you being beaten like this? Look the cow, look how tears running from her eyes. Why is this person who is supposed to be a protector of a cow? Why are you allowing this female to get blows like this? And the male says, I am Dharma. That is Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is in agony. Is the bison who doesn't have the different legs. Sorry, the female is crying. Mother Earth is crying because of the separation from Lord Krishna. She knows unrighteousness is coming. So Parikshit says, I understand that. I totally understand that mother will feel the loss of her health. But why are you only with one foot? He says, in this age of Kali Yuga that is coming, Dharma will lose all its strength. The cleanliness, Satyam, Sauch, Dan, Daya, those are my legs, and a lot of it will be eroded in the age of Kali Yuga. All the virtue will go. And you see that person on top, that's Yamraj, and he's beating us without any mercy. Because in Kali Yuga, even the person who can guide you and lift you up, they will be a false speaker, a false prophet will be so prevalent. And people will rush the false prophet and take the easy way. Not the right way, not the righteous way. No, the convenient way. Bhagavad Gita says, prayer is good. Sattvic prayer is following the injunction. Rajasic prayer is prayer, you're doing the prayer. But yes, I'm putting up the flag, I'm sharing the parasad, I look like I have puja, but I am doing it only to advertise and to show the neighbor I have so many flags, for example. And tamasic prayer is when you're breaking the rules and you're doing the prayer to serve your interests. Pandit, I don't know if I ate Bologna last night. Who gonna know that? I'll look like a fast. I'll go and act like a fast and do the best prayer. Nobody ever knows. But I do the prayer and I'm not getting reward. I'm not seeing change in my life. And you sometimes focus on the flowers, you focus on the kurta, you focus on the height of the Hanuman flag. Think about what I'm saying. I need the best sari. I want the best cook for my prayers. I want the coconut that have the fluid in it. I'll shake it by my hands. But no day will you watch yourself and say, I wonder if I am ready for the Lord. I wonder if a horning, cheating, lying, if a selling half pound of dal by really giving you quarter pound. I wonder if we reach to the point when I reach to that baby, you know what? I'm going to get up with one less bad habit. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to change. Oh, like one day I went to do prayers and the person said, Pandit, I want you to do this Hanuman prayer is good enough. Chant the Chalisa 5 times. I want the blessing of Hanuman Baba. I want the power of Hanuman. I'm cheating and this other woman is giving so much of trouble. I need the power of Hanuman just to keep this one calm and keep remembering the lie. Because I have people who pray like that. And the sad thing is, you do the lie, you do the prayers now, and the prayer sometimes is to really give me the power to keep lying. For example, this is why. He says, this is why she's grieving. And Yamraj is happy. Because when people want to go down that narrative and they want to get caught up with the convenient way of prayer and they don't want to be genuine or honest to make the changes in their life, to do it the right way, then they will be enraptured into sin. And Yamraj is going to be very, very creative in punishing people. So he's sitting on my back and he's riding a broken Dharma. This earth is going to become polluted. It is going to become depraved and deriving all the energy, the life. Plants will start to become extinct. Animals will become extinct. People's lives will change. The family life will fall apart. And Mother Earth is only grieving. You know, it have a state in the Christian Discourse where he's born. Mother Earth comes as he go to beg. Oh God, the weight of all these children on my back is too much. I need your help. Come as Christian, come. If you think about it, what weight you're talking about? What is it have more people on the earth now than it had before? What weight are you talking about? And you will remember this. Why do you bow? The energy, the electrical energy in your system, cause is the result of karma, your prayers. And the sickness is when that energy, what all them religious bit there, the glow around the head, the artist is showing you the aura. And when that light come low and you're negative, your energy get negative, you want the energy to go somewhere. So you touch the earth, you touch the multi, you touch the ground. If you go to get rubbed or somebody massage your body, when they finish massage you, let's say the girl now had the baby, and they well rub and they're trying to take out the pain and all that. When the lady done, she'll knock the wall, she'll knock the floor. Let that negative go to the earth. When you're passing the light, the heat from the fire over your body, in a little bit you'll be taking your arati. If you had the blessing, you'll be bowing by the murti or bowing by the book. Let the positive from the God, the knowledge, give me, replenish what I lost. And let the negative, and that is why, and everybody barefoot. When you go pray, and you just be bare feet. Why? It had carpet, it had tile, it had good reason upon your shoes. But I want, as an electrical conductor, I want to make the ground with you. And let the negative energy flow to her. So when there's more unrighteousness and negative sickness, hardship, and everything is flowing to mother, oh God, the burden is hard. It's a lot. Everybody touching me and saying, take me sickness, take me trouble. My husband causing trouble. The children don't listen. Nobody don't have time for old people anymore. It's a lot. Oh God, who will help me? Lord Vishnu, come and help me. So now he's gone. That part finished. And Dharma is simply saying, when all the bad karma start to play on the earth, Yamraj is the happiest. Let's go again. Lo Raksha Karo, Raksha Karo, He Chakra Sudarshan Vali. Bhavana He Veda Tat Sarva Janama Dharmanuga Pryaschit Chaturupye Nata Raksha Karo, Raksha Karo, Raksha Karo, Raksha Karo, Raksha Karo, He Chakra Sudarshan Vali. Raksha Karo, He Chakra Sudarshan Vali. Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. Fancy words to describe the missing legs, but you know it. One leg, easy one. Easy one. Tonight I want you to remember this. He says in Kali Yuga, the leg of this figure of the bison, the one that is called Sat. Remember Satya Narayan? Sat, truthfulness, honesty, straightforwardness. He says that is long missing. That I lost that foot. I lost that foot first. In this age, unrighteousness, untruthfulness will become rampant. People not only physical lie, but think about the insincerity that people show one another in families. Forget strangers. I think we still have some decorum when it's a stranger. The person doesn't jealous you, they don't know what you own. It makes no difference to me to say a kind word to you, good morning. But when sometimes we know our own, the harsh words and judgment that we harbor, why did they have to buy that car? Why did they have to get that pink curtain? I want that pink curtain too. And they started, why did their son have to get such a nice girl to marry? Little to major, minor, people jealous they own. And sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. Because everybody, if I go and ask them, you just jealous somebody? Not me, Baba. Would you be insincere to anybody? Not me, Baba. Would you cheat on your spouse? Not me, Baba. Would you lie to your children? Not me, Baba. So I just wonder who does really be doing the sin. Truthfully, if you really watch yourself, we are all sinful people that lie not only outside, but you lie to yourself first. You start here. Look at how you manage your time, manage your diet. I high blood pressure, oh God, I know I should cut out the salt. But truth be known, I love that salt, you know. I love that pepper, you know. I can't do without it. So when prayer is watching, I thieving something from that fridge. Truth be told. In many examples, if you be honest with yourself, we talk about fasting from meat and other impurities in your body. But maybe we should be fasting from being dishonest. That would be a good fast to start. He says, when I lost that leg, it shook me as Dharma. Dharma takes a hard blow because people don't want to be truthful. But the self, in their marriage, in their house, don't look outside, but right home. All of this, Parikshit is watching and listening and he's learning. Going on to the other 2 feet, Sauch means cleanliness. Imagine we live in a world that is becoming more tech savvy and more in this way educated. Young children could program any phone you pick up. I don't know where it is learn it, but they could tell you press this, push that, go up there, you'll get it. However, we are not becoming more clean. Our air, our earth, our water, our place, everything somehow is polluted. We have more, we cooking every day and we seen it now. No more lower hand still when we're doing wedding just now, Ponitonil. We got to tie the kangan on the KitchenAid on the baby. Nobody don't use okra and mosar again. But somehow, with all the technology, people don't know how to keep a home. Children every day are using your washroom, but they don't know how to clean a washroom or their house. Or as somebody told me, why you have to clean your washroom for? It sounds strange. Because if you watch your generation and you watch the next generation, you're wondering what we're going to. Because it is not a priority for them. And cleanliness is next to godliness. In our Dharma, we are always cleaning. Pandit Sunil is sprinkling water, putting kush grass for it to stand up on. Bless this place, sanctify this place. When they lipe the Hindu does it, but they don't know why they do it. When Lakshmi Mata sat in the Gobar, if you have to call the Devta to sit on that altar, it must be marked with Mother Lakshmi's, the heifer Gobar. So then it is fit to do worship. This is why when you go funeral, you see, although it's funeral, although the people floor could be tiled, pitch, whatever it be, they just have to put the Gobar. You see it in the wedding around the Kalsa. Mother, you mark here, and now we could invite X, Y, and Z Devtas. He says, O Parikshit, in this time, people will lose kindness. People will lose self-control. And they will become very attached to the opposite of these words. People will judge people very quickly. Women will be downtrodden. Women would become the victims of all forms of violence. People would grow apart. Families would scatter and split over little things. And most important, the idea of forgiveness becomes null and void. Parikshit, listening to this, tells the entity on the back, you cannot come here. And using his weapons, he says, look at what you are doing to this heifer, to this Mother Earth. The cow is passing urine out of fear for the entity that is on her back. You are dressed as a pundit, but you are a criminal. You are taking advantage of this earth. You are beating this earth. You are beating Dharma in a way that is filled with no mercy. And if You offend a cow. I am the governor. I am the Kshatri. I am the politician for this area, and you cannot beat a cow so long as I am standing here. Therefore, don't hit the cow. Come to hit me. Let's hear what happens. Pahi pahi, pahi pahi, gajanana, Parvati nanda gajanana. Come on everybody, easy chant, let's sing together. Ekadanta gajanana, Ekadanta gajanana, Anekadantam vijnana, Anekadantam pahi pahi, pahi pahi, evam dharma pravadi satam dvijaye satatam ye sate dinamasika vishwadev puran puran tishta ye dama pahi pahi, Lambodar he gajanana, Lambodar he gajanana, Lambodar gajavijarana, Tammeva dharma ye shrishtam ye snanaye naye yasi vyatraye na nityato dhyata atitiye na ye asam pahi Parvati nanda gajanana, Parvati Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Kali Yuga takes form in that little melee, and he says, I am the energy of darkness. This is why they call me Kali. Kali coming, not Kali Mata, something else. Kali meaning the dark time, the unrighteous time, the bad time for righteousness. This what is happening here, where Dharma is on the decline, and Mother Earth will cry, she will break, she will suffer. It is happening because I will it. Grandson of Arjun picks up his weapons and he says, by my will, by my force, I am going to protect Mother Earth in this Gau form, in this Gau Mata. Do not fear, Mother. So long as I am here, Kali Yuga will not be able to progress against you. He takes the weapon and he threatens Kali. And in a short battle, Kali Yuga realizes how powerful Parikshit is. And backs away and now becomes very humble. Tell me, O Lord, O paramount, O great desperado, tell me where could I dwell so long as you permit me. Tell me I, Kali Yuga, have to exist. Where could I pass my time? O foremost, watch how sweet the words is, O foremost of pious people, tell me where you will appoint me to remain, where I could feed and fester on people. Parikshit says, you remain, please listen to this, where there is gambling, the gambling house, the bar, the place where alcohol is being served, the prostitute's house. And this one says, in places where envy lives. Envy, this one open, I want to open my business. This one buy a car, I want to buy a car. This one child doing well in school, why my child can't do, this one pass for that school, what your child pass for? My child pass for a better school than yours. How do you know Kali Yuga is there? Look at the behavior change when somebody drinks alcohol or they get enticed by a prostitute, how they go off. It is as if they lose control of their life, their money, their rational is gone, everything. It is as if something possessed the person. When a person becomes a gambling addict and they have no rational, no control to stop. Same for alcohol, same for woman as well. I guess it could be man as well. Or when I become so envious, I will go to any means. I will pay an Obia man to lick up somebody. I will pay a man to go and take a gun and rob or rape or hinder somebody. Life comes so cheap. It is as if you get carried away, but there's nothing to stop you. In English, we would say something get you, something possess you, something is carrying you away. In Hinduism, we say Kali Yuga is that force. He says, oh Raja Parikshit, please allow me one more place. You only given me these 4. But that's not enough. I have my work to do. I have to bring about bad decisions and trouble. How will I be able to do my job? Give me one more place to live. He says, okay, go and live in money. Go and live, and in these times, money was gold. Go and live in gold. And the corruption, when you're watching TV and you see people hunting for gold, and they get this thing called gold fever, where they want gold, they want to have. But wait, and people is fight for gold still, it have gold fever still. When mommy give you beer and share, give me none, I'll kill you for that. And it is as if this metal have a little more in it, something about it. It doesn't do much for anybody else other than the fact that somebody say it have value. Do people fight for Terry and Luther? Think what I say. How come other metals are not the cause of trouble? It is as if the gold, the little ring or Bera mommy had, cause your mind to go so off that you forget that is your sister and your brother. Look at your behavior. Look at when the person trying to rob somebody. Look at the intention. As they say, take out God from your thoughts. In fact, how does Parikshit end up being the cause of our Bhagwat Yagna? After this, Kali Yuga accepts the position that I will live in gold. But our Yagna, 7 days, 3 times for the day, is a very rigorous. When you're inviting for a lot of, if we had a Yagna with 5 people, I guess it would be very simple. But think about the cooking 3 times, think about the parsad, and you don't want to cook. The same thing, everybody want to make something different. There's a lot of prep. There's a lot of tedious work. And you're saying this started with that guy who was so good. what happened? How we end up there? Parikshit, who was supposed to be this godly fella and goodly fella, one day went to meet Guruji, his godfather, his Purohit, and he did not have patience at that time. And he went to meet the man, and he's waiting, and time is passing, and Guruji not coming out from his prayer. Prayers can't finish that evening. So Parikshit, in a moment, without thinking, as they say, takes the, when snake shed skin, the little old skin, look like a snake, but dead skin, takes the shell of the snake and drapes it around the neck of the Muni. And when Muni now gets up and he sees it, frightened, and he says, whoever put this here 7 days, a snake will bite you and you'll die. And when Parikshit hears about it, he gets frightened, but he also wakes up as if he was in a trance. How could I, who is, I deal out justice, how come I could make such a stupid mistake? And the answer is, the king wears a crown of gold. That the same gold that he allowed Kali Yuga to sit in is now interfering with his mindset. And it caused him that momentary lapse. And although he is the grandson of Arjuna, although he is born with all these gifts, Lord Vishnu is protecting him, he was told that in 7 days he's going to meet with his death, as foretold when they checked his patra at birth. So he goes now to his Pandit and he says, we must devise something. And what did Panditji do? He says, my father, this is the son, Sukdev Goswami is the son of Vedvyas. He says, my father wrote in times past this book, this text called Bhagwat Mahapuran. And if you listen to it, just by listening, it burns away in a way that no other text could compare to. So it will relieve you of your punishment, regardless to the nature of the curse. So for 3 times for the day, the person bathe, they do different type of worship. For example, they would offer the Mahanbhog with whole wheat flour. Wheat or gram, where you crush, again with KitchenAid, you could do anything now. You crush things like lentil and different seeds, and you mix it in the parasad. But by sharing this to people, when you see people patch parasad, there's a reason for that method. Patching parasad is emulating or giving the false look of whole wheat flour or bran being mixed in the parasad. When people used to do Suraj Puran Puja, the correct way to do Surya Puja is you must put whole wheat or bran in that. Why? Surya Dev is the God who is in charge of your circulation and your heart and all that attached to it. So the person gets up on a Sunday morning and they put their hands very straight. How do you offer a dar for Suraj Narayana Swami? Keep the elbow straight. Hold the lota here and tip forward as you are offering the liquid between you and the eastern sunrise horizon. And you're asking at that twilight hour when the sun is clipping, it is not yet hot, it is not sunny, it is just the radiation. The earth is waking up, photosynthesis is started. And I want that radiation to penetrate this curtain, my prayer, my offering, and get into my body and rid my body of the cholesterol, the cancer, the whatsoever you have. On such a day, when you offer something, imagine prasad now, and I am sharing it for people, the wheat, the whole wheat, the flaxseed, the different grains, all that will go to help lower your cholesterol or in some way help your body in that way. God bless it that the person who is praying from things like aneurysm, little TIA or the bleeding in the brain, let them do prasad that have the whole wheat flour or some form of bran. Burn it in the fire for the Devta and share it for people. Give it in dan. And you will start to see the person who has the stroke, the twist face, the different challenges. They somehow start to respond to therapy and they start to come back. When you think about it, it might sound strange for a pundit to say, when God gives you punishment because of bad karma, there's a prayer, there's a method that you could fix your trouble. God does forgive. But it depends on the knowledge of the person or what you could do to change your fate. Think about something bad come to you. As I said in the beginning, when parents have to lose a child, it's very rough. Imagine your child is diagnosed with something, but you, as the person who at a point, do I use my prayer to change, or do I just give up and say, okay, who dead, dead? Many people start to watch Hanuman Baba, very funny, you know. Lupus, I wonder, I see he lift a mountain. I don't know if he could change lupus. I don't know if he could stop or slow down the effects of cancer. When you go to your doctor and the doctor says, I'm not seeing anything wrong with you, but something is wrong, go talk to your pundit, priest, imam, somebody, get the prayers. Doctors will guide you because they believe in miracle. The pundit believe in miracle. It's just you don't believe in miracle, because at some point you have to have faith in people like that, that no matter what the hurdle is, no matter what the circumstance is, if I put my head straight and I know that when I talk to you, you're listening, prayers work. If I have faith in that, then maybe the impossible could come possible. The impossible could come possible. But like any teacher in the school, I could describe God. I could sing his praise. I could tell you he could do this, that for you. Like the doctor telling you this tablet real good, you know, take away all your trouble. But the doctor can't force you to take the tablet. He can't ram it down your throat. Maybe if pundits start to walk with Baal and start to clobber people, say a prayer, maybe it might go easier. But when you depend on the person to say prayers for themselves, now it's time for me to say my prayer. Maybe if people change that, things in their life would change too. Parikshit becomes so confused, regardless to his genealogy, to all his teachings, and in his own life makes poor decisions. And when the 7 days had finished, he gets the Vardhan that his sins have been washed away. For this reason, till today, I guess it's hard to get Bhagwat. Now people want to do the easy thing. But this type of yagna has a lot of benefit in it. It is a sacrifice. The word yagna by itself means sacrifice. The person is given the time, the effort, the ability to get the blessing. And that is what you're doing it for. That I have had sin, I'm having trouble, and I don't want no more trouble. I want my trouble to go. When done properly, a person with, regardless of the issue or the challenge, could overcome your problem. But tonight, as we conclude, please remember that just as Parikshit had done his prayer, this is the purpose behind the prayer. To rid yourself of sin. At the end of the 7 days, when Taksha did come, and it does bite him, Parikshit goes to the foot of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, and he gets to rest his head. The blessing that he prayed for, because at that time the prayers wasn't bless me with children, bless me with house, bless me with money, bless me with this, bless. At that time, you realize that all these things I have been running down and fighting and squabbling for, I still have to leave it when I lie down in the coffin. What am I spending? Remember we talk about the time, the beans in your hand, the 60 beans for the 60 years God give me, or thereabout. You only have 60, you can't ask for 5 borrow again. But what you choose to do with your time, that is what in fancy language we talk about with Yamraj. I made you a father, I made you a friend, I made you a brother, I made you this, that, and the other. What did you do with the time? I was a good worker, but I was a very bad father. You still have to pay for that. What is the measure of parents? Look at the quality of children. The end point, a good child will heal and help up to 7 generations in his or her family. A child is somebody that saves parents from the damning effects of their youth, their life, etc. I didn't get it right in my own life, but you know what? I'm getting it right with them. I'm teaching discipline. I'm teaching what my parents didn't teach me. Now I know, so I'm doing it right. That is going to yield what you want. According to your text, that is the way out. In doing the father, the mother, the different roles and hats that you have to do, do your duty for children and your family. Keep your family life. Don't fall to the gambling, to the whole house, to the money, to the different fights, the law, all these things. For what? 5 inch land? That pettiness, that type of envy, it holding you, let go of it. 5 feet, 50 feet, you could carry any when you're going. Ask yourself these kind of questions and see what is your priority. Vrindavan Bihari Ki Jai. We have it here somewhere. Before we conclude this evening, Kanha Soja Zara, another dance. This one by Arana Ramsahai. This is the older sister. She was with us for Father's Day. She's a Form 6 student in same Rio Claro West. Senior student with Simone's Dance Academy. And why I applaud the parents of these children, it takes a lot of practice to do what they are doing at this young age. I don't know how they manage the time, the homework, to go out and join with us in our temple here tonight and go to the next temple and so on. God bless parents for the good job that you are doing, and God bless your children. Keep it up. Sitarambi.
मुरी बंसी बजैया मुरी बंसी बजैया नंदलाला कन्हैया मुरी बंसी बजैया नंदलाला कन्हैया मुरी बंसी बजैया नंदलाला कन्हैया मुही मुही ऐसे नहीं छेड़ा सावरे सुन सुन मौसे नहीं खेला दावरे जाके यशोदा से कह दूंगी रे कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा जरा लुक छुप के तकियों ना मोही कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा जरा नैनों से ना छूना मोही कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा जरा कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा जरा आसा धा रे सा नि ग प म ग रे प म ग रे सा ग प सा नि ध प ग म रे म धा प ग म रे ग धा ग म रे धा प म ग रे सा नि ध ग रे सा नि ध ग स ग स रे ग रे सा नि ध सा ग प म रे धा ग म ग रे सा 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 रे ग प ग रे सा सुनी जो तेरी मुरली चली रे चल दे पिया मुरी वो जुल्मी गाऊं तेरे ही गीत क्यों ली मैं तेरी हो गई चढ़ गई तेरी पे तेरी है ना क्या यूं मती मारे गई मोरी कैसे छोड़ा बैल के आगे तुझे ऐसे है ये सारा दोष मेरा कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा सदा कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा सदा कान्हा सो जा सदा ओ कान्हा सो जा सदा मदना मधुसूदना मनोहरा मनमोहना मदना मधुसूदना मनोहरा मनमोहना मुरारी बजैया नंदलाला
give her a round of applause. Thank you, dear. Very good. Again, let me thank the parents for bringing them and supporting us. Tonight, before we conclude, when you are heading back to your vehicle, Sona Security Services and Company, Uncle Christian, I didn't know him. He called me, saw my number on TV, and he wanted to reach out to support the Yagna with safety. Think about that. Somebody just called in. I want to help you with safety, Pandit. Our customer people saying, I want to help you with flowers and leaf and. So this man, he wasn't doing too well. He was feeling sick. And I just want to mention this because I think when people make sacrifice like this, because he really was not feeling good. But tonight, for our safety, when you're walking back to your vehicle, his team, they're there supporting us. Besides the Tableland Police Station, but Sona Security Services, thank you, Uncle Christian. Principal of Indravan Bihari Lalaki. The conversation that will happen in the Bhagwat, and this is the difference between other type of yagya and this type of yagya. This style is a growing topic, meaning we start in one place and we grow and we talk. People have been messaging, those of you watching on Facebook Live, in YouTube, well, Pandit, why is this happening? Pandit, why is that happening? And why is this? Why is it? Does it make sense? Pray. I am not preempting that. I am not telling you, yes, you have to pray. Draw your own conclusion. In Hinduism, remember, as a Pandit, it's very difficult when we sit up here because I have a wide range of people in the audience and I have to speak and attract and entice, explain and guide a 65-year-old on that side of the room and a 5-year-old on this side of the room. You have some people that know about God and some people just first time they come to a Yagna. No fault of their own. So we will interpret the same story differently. But if I go to spoon feed you everything, then the God that lives inside of you based on your karma doesn't really get to shine. Hinduism, on the other hand, says, give what the book has, read the book, teach from the book, not the Pandit interpretation or the Pandit opinion, and allow the God that speaks to you and I, the chit or the voice in our head, to say, you know what, out of everything Pandit say, I'll remember that the gambling house is a bad place and that the devil live in gold, for example, like a child. You might watch it one way, a male might watch it one way, a woman might watch it different. And what's the difference? What causes the difference? Why is it different? Because it's one book. It's supposed to evoke one, by theory, one emotion. Different people think different, pray different, act different, react different because of that karma. Their intellect is different. So when you are bowing in your prayers, think what you're doing. When last did you do this? Bow to Ganesh Baba and touch your elbow. You just do that? No, Baba. I just bow and I just touch my brain, where this frontal lobe is what gives me my character, my like. Let me just say I like plenty pepper in my doubles, or I don't like the color blue. Who makes me is sitting here in this part of my body. Nowhere else in your body is in charge of your character. And the Hindu is saying, charge up here. Make me the best person. Make me a better person, if however you want to interpret it. So when in your character there are little flaws and little weaknesses, when you see somebody touch the earth, touch the murti, touch the God, or the book in this example, and they're pulling it here, they're putting the ticker here, they're asking that me who sit here, please help me to upgrade, help me to do better, be better, think better, act better, react better, so that I could have a better existence. Suppose I'm a good-looking person, but I have a very nasty temper in my marriage. How long the marriage will last? If I don't trust in my marriage. You know, for example, everybody just talk about children should do Saraswati Puja. Saraswati Puja is good for to remember the work, Baba. Good. Saraswati also is very good to forget. Think past it. If I had the ability to remember and recall every stupid thing this man in this marriage say, I don't think I'll be able to stay in a marriage for long. If I hold on to every time you disappoint me, how will you forgive that person? How will you move on? So, the Hindu creates goddess in this form where, you know what? I'm going and take some nice, where will this offer, Shib? Where this offer in Saraswati Puja? Very I'm going and offer something sweet, healthy. Karma says, how you give is so you get. I'm giving you sweet, mother bless me with sweet times. I am married to somebody who really just let me down. These children, they're good. My brother, but help me to forget from the perspective of forgiving. So I could walk away from that, and that animosity don't have to live here. When you learn that lesson, that is how people is really say, we married for 32 years. Because if you hold on to all that baggage, one, you'll get sick. Two, you wouldn't be in it for long. You can't do it. So in your prayer, truthfully, help me to sometimes forget the trauma, the bad, the hurtful, the disgusting things that happened to me, so that you could move forward and move on. Please remember that. There's a simple, easy example of how you use prayer to get betterment in your life. If prayer is not connected to your life, and it can't work to change things in your life, if everything we write in the patra, as they say, written in stone, cannot change, then answer this. Why are you praying? Why are you just going and pick flowers and offer dar? And I still going to get this sickness, and I still going to fail the exam, and I'm still going to have this and that problem? We are praying for. Makes no sense. If that is your opinion of prayer, then we're going to spend some time together discussing stuff so that you could learn and grow. Vindravan Bihari Lalaki. Everybody, let's all stand as we've come to the end of our third session. Babs, you want to sing the arti? Babs, I'm tired. If I get a copy, yeah? Dar, who came up with your mic? So this evening on stage I have funded Amita. Pronounce? No, Amita Harbacha. And Baba is going to lead us in Arti. Sajam cha, put your hand together and talk to God. We have so much to talk to Him about. Dear God, waving the light are standing up because the person wants to see the arti, they want to see the Devta as they circumambulate the Murti with the light. I do this too. I stand together with them. But allow the energy, allow the blessings to flow to me. I need your help because of this problem, this hindrance, this issue. Please hear my prayer. I'm here. Please remove the troubles from my life. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam dipam grihana devesham trailokya timirapaham.
जय भागवत भगवान की आरती। छम वेर निरारा नभ ज्योति जगाने वाला
hands still together. Take a second. You know, Prabhu, I didn't come to play, I came to pray. Let me pray a little bit before I go home. Dear God, thank you for affording me the opportunity. As Pandit was talking, it's a very auspicious time, and Tuesday another auspicious time coming. It is only come every 4 years, so we're lucky to be in prayer. A lot of people don't know the value. Tomorrow in our year, Pandit going to explain why a dig mass is such a good thing. Prabhu, thank you for still affording me the opportunity to do charity and seva and goodly things, goodly service. Those people who would like to help share food, speak with Ashti when you're done, and we have food to share. If you'd like to get involved every evening, I and prayer are helping, we're cooking. You want to help cook, come and cook if you want. Dear God, give me the strength, give me the ability, give me the opportunity to do something so I could sweat out the sin. Let me do something to help myself. Thank you again for the opportunity. Tvameva Mata. Everybody. Tvameva Bandhuscha. Tvameva Vidya. Tvameva Sarvam. Tvameva Sarvam. Together, everybody. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem Subhalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai, Pawana Sutta Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your